You've been undervaluing yourself and you've been overgiving again. And at this point, you're really starting to feel it. You are over it, okay? Hi, I'm Demi. This is the Intuitive Attorney, and I am here to tell you some stories and also pull some oracle cards. So, today's theme is going to be about how we undervalue ourselves and how we overgive. I am somebody who has chronically undervalued herself and her gifts and what she has to offer. And I'm betting that you also do the same. When we undervalue ourselves, it starts to lead to chronic burnout. It starts to lead to resentment. It starts to lead to feeling like we don't want to keep going, like we just basically want to give up, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. And that is what I'm learning. And so like I said, we're going to pull some cards today. And I'm going to give you a little story time and we're going to see where it goes. All right. So, first of all, I just want to say that I have undervalued my gifts. I have undervalued what I have to offer for a really, really long time. And it just came to a head recently, okay? So I have a client. This is a new client, and she purchased a lot of services from me up front. Wonderful, amazing, gratitude. And I also gave a little bit of a discount too when she got all these services because when you get a bunch of services from me, I'm like, hey, I'll give you a discount, no problem. And so she wanted to recently add something on to what she was doing. She's already paid for the other services, but she wanted something different. And so I quoted her a price, and the response that I got was that she felt like the price was not worth what she was asking for. She said that it doesn't really warrant that amount or something along the lines of that. It doesn't warrant that amount of money and it's really not that extensive of a task, okay? I tell you, when I opened up that email and I read that, I felt so irritated. I was mad, okay? I was hot. I'm like, how are you going to tell me what's extensive or not extensive? And I already gave you a discount beforehand. Actually, the price I gave her was a discount, right? And I was just so irritated. I was so irritated and I felt upset. I felt undervalued, okay? I felt like here we go again, somebody else not wanting to pay me, okay? And then I had to stop and think for a second. And what I realized was that I have been chronically undervaluing myself. I have been I've had a pattern of giving people lower prices than what it's worth, than the service is actually worth. And I've been doing it for a long time, at least a few years. And in the past, okay, I have lowered my prices because someone said that they couldn't afford it, or someone said, well, I don't really think this is, again, like that big of a task, and I've lowered my price. And this time, though, I'm in a space where I'm like, no, I no longer want to lower my prices. I no longer want to diminish the value that I bring. And diminishing that value would be me saying, oh, okay, well, you're right. Let me just knock even more off of this price, which by the way was also a discount. And this isn't about, giving a discount. If you wanna give a discount, you give a discount. I believe that, and no one necessarily owes you anything or even a thank you or gratitude. It's something that I want to do from my heart, right? Because someone has been purchasing lots of things from me and pouring into my business. And also I had to realize I am running a business, okay? And I deserve to get paid for the work that I do. You deserve to get paid for the value that you bring. And at the end of the day, the only person who is responsible for standing on that value is you. If you feel like you've been giving a lot, if you feel depleted, if you feel burnt out from running your business, or even in your relationships, because how you do one thing is how you do another, right? If you feel like you've been burnt out, it's really important that you take a look at where you have been saying, what I have to offer is actually not enough. And where have you been trying to prove yourself to prove that what I'm doing is worthy of this certain price point? And right now I'm using money, right? Because that is, I feel like, a pretty straightforward example, especially when we are running businesses or we are offering some type of service or our gifts or our talents. We really need to look at where am I undervaluing myself? Okay. For me, because I already offered a discount, right? And I got pushback from that. I started to feel actually a lot of shame, right? I started to feel like, well, maybe I don't deserve that amount of money. Maybe I am asking for too much. Maybe it doesn't warrant that. And then I was like, wait a second. No. No, I have put a lot of time and effort into my craft, and I deserve to be compensated for that. And it doesn't really matter what somebody else values it at, right? It doesn't fully matter what other people think the value of your service or your gift is. It matters what you think about it. And if you decide off the bat that this isn't worth much, that's the energy that you are going to receive back, okay? The law of attraction says that the energy you put out, you receive. And that's a simple version of it. And so for me, when I have these moments where I am being questioned about what I bring to the table, because that's what it can feel like, right? That's what it feels like. Like, what I'm bringing to the table isn't enough. Someone doesn't want to pay me. Someone doesn't want to give me what the value is of it. I think about, okay, where have I been undervalued? Where have I felt like I'm not enough? And I realized that I've been doing it for a really long time. And it's not that, so in the past, it's not that I've never experienced this. I have experienced someone saying, okay, I can't afford it, or whatever the case may be, and I will knock a lot off of the price, right? I'll change my price, I'll negotiate my price. And at this point in my life, I am done negotiating my price. I am done negotiating my worth. I am done negotiating my value. And with that, though, forces me to confront the shadows that I have around money. It forces me to confront the shadows that I have around overgiving, because I think that that's going to help to prove that I'm worth whatever it is that someone's going to give back to me. But that's not the case, right? When we overgive, it's doing so usually from a scarcity mindset. It's doing so from the mindset of, I'm not worth enough. The service and the value that I bring is not enough. So now I have to prove and show, and you have to be my friend, and we're going to get super friendly. And I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm the expert in this, or I'm the authority in this. But it's like, yes, you are. You are the expert, right? Whatever the exchange is, that person is coming to you to get either advice, to get a service, whatever the case is. And that has value in and of itself. And there's no need to necessarily get mad or upset or worked up about it. Well, at least not stay there, right? I think our emotions are here to teach us something. So if you are upset, if you are irritated, it's like, why? What is that? And again, for me, it's because I have chronically undervalued myself. And so when someone's like, oh yeah, I don't think it's worth that, a part of me believed it, right? A part of me believed, who are you to charge this amount? Who are you to say that you're the expert? Who are you to say that, oh no, this is the energy that it takes. It is a big energy exchange, what I'm doing here. The answer is, I'm the one that gets to decide, right? I get to decide. And so do you. You get to decide the worth that you bring to whatever it is that you're doing. You're the one that gets to set the tone. And we set the tone for how people treat us, even in business. We hear that a lot when it comes to relationships. You set the tone for how somebody treats you. That is also the case when it comes to business. That's also the case when it comes to sharing your gifts. So, we're going to pull a few cards, okay? That was a little bit of a long story time. Actually, it wasn't that long, but we're going to pull some cards to look at exactly how you have been undervaluing yourself or how you've been overgiving. I have 2 decks here, and we're going to pull 3 cards. And if you ever heard of the SWOT analysis in marketing, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, we're kind of going to do a version of that for our spread, okay? So, like I said, I'm going to do 3 cards. And the first pull is going to be, what are your strengths? The second card is going to be, what are your weaknesses? And the third card is going to be, what opportunities you have right now. So I was just shuffling, and the first card for strengths that I pulled is inventor. So your strength is that you are an inventor. You are creative. You are really wise when it comes to the things that you can put out in the world. You are a trailblazer. Okay, you are someone who is able to come up with different ideas and then put those ideas out into the world in a way that is very, very unique. It's really time for you to lean into that strength. It's really time for you to claim that you are an inventor. Okay? And what it looks like to claim that is to decide, what do you want? Do you want to constantly be negotiating your prices, negotiating your worth, negotiating your value? Or do you want to set your price, set your worth, set your value, and then have people meet that? And the people that cannot meet that, that is okay. Do you want to overgive? You want to be everybody's friend? You want to keep proving and jumping through hoops and doing a song and dance to prove that you're worth something? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I don't think you do, right? You have the ingenuity. You're a genius. Okay? Like, you're an inventor, you're a genius. You have the wits, you have the smarts to claim whatever it is that you want and to bring it to life. Practice integrity, okay? As you are inventing things, and that was another question that I really had to ask myself. I'm like, am I trying to get over on somebody? Like, am I trying to cut corners or be a money grab? And again, I had to sit with myself and really look at this and be like, no, I'm not. In fact, I was undervaluing my, literally, like, the price I quoted was actually less than what that was even worth. So no, I was not. I had integrity. And it's like, if you have integrity in the things that you do, I mean, that's top shelf in and of itself, ain't it? But there are lots of roles that you play, and you can juggle all of them, okay? You are an inventor. An inventor creates newness. An inventor thinks about different ideas. An inventor thinks about how they can bring things into the world. So that is a strength. So know that you are an inventor, and that is a part of the value that you bring, is your ability to pivot, your ability to think about different ideas, okay? That's everything. All right. So now our second card is going to be, what is our weakness? All right. What is our weakness? And the weakness is essentially like what's getting in the way, what's not helpful. Okay. All right. So the card that I just pulled says personal choice. So the weakness is that you don't want to make a choice for yourself. Your weakness is in choosing and deciding. When I was first When I pulled the other card, I had said, decide on what you want. And that's where you feel uncertain. That's where you feel some insecurity. Okay. It's making a choice for yourself and standing on that choice. Stand on your price, right? Stand on the value that you bring. Stand on your boundary. Turn that weakness, turn that shadow into something that can be helpful for you. So the shadow, right? The weakness is just the other side of the coin. So if your weakness is in personal choice, take a second and think about some choices that you can make today. What's a personal choice that you can make today and you're not going to ask anybody what they think about it? And this choice needs to be something that matters, okay? It doesn't have to be a huge deal, but something that matters to you. So for example, make a choice about what you're going to put on. I don't know when you're listening to this, but make a choice about what you're going to wear and stand on that. And let it be something that you really want to wear. And don't, as soon as the thoughts come up about who might think what, or whether it's appropriate for whatever the case is, get that out of your head. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Make the choice for yourself. Okay? Embrace the fact that you have the power to choose. We always have the power to choose. And I think this is also coming up in the weakness part of the spread, is because you have also been feeling like, oh, well, I don't have a choice, right? I have to grind. I have to just take whatever somebody gives me. And that is not true. And taking whatever somebody gives you is one of the number one ways to burn out. Because if you're open to everything, you're not really sifting through the things that you really want to be doing. You are allowing people to give you whatever money they want to give you, right? You set a price and they're choosing what they want to give you regardless of your price. And that's not going to work. And it's not being vindictive. It is not being, you're not asking for too much. You get to decide what your price is. You get to decide the value that you bring. You get to decide how much you want to give. You get to decide the quality that you bring to the table. Okay? So, yeah, the weakness is coming in from feeling like you don't have a choice in things. Like you just have to take whatever is given to you. And as women, we are usually open to receive. Like, so we're receiving things, right? So sometimes we'll just receive whatever, right? The issue that can come up is that I'm just open to receiving whatever energy, but there has to be some guardrails. There has to be a way of doing things. There has to be some standards for yourself, right? So know that you do have the power to choose. You get to choose your price. You get to choose how you conduct your business. You get to choose how you put your gifts into the world, exactly how, when, what, where. You get to choose the type of clients that you bring in. You get to choose. And to be clear, it doesn't mean that you control you have control over what other people are going to do. That's not, I want to be clear, that is not what I'm saying. But what it is you have a choice about what you allow in and what you don't allow in. So remember that, okay? All right, our last card pull is going to be what opportunities are here. What opportunities are here when it comes to your value, when it comes to what you're giving or not giving. All right, and I'm pulling from a different deck here. So the card says the nose of the moon, release, clear, and align. Also, the number is 32, which is a 5. So 5s are significant for anybody. This is especially a message that you need to hear. But the opportunity here is for you to release, clear, and align. So the opportunity that comes up when we realize that we've been undervaluing ourselves and overgiving is that we have an opportunity to look at all the blocks and the wounds around money, around receiving, around our worth. We get to really look at those things and then release them. Okay? We get to release them, we get to clear them. Because the fact that it's coming up means that it's here and ready for you to really look at and deal with it. So there's an opportunity for you to align yourself with the type of people that you want to interact with. It's a chance for you to align yourself with the business that you want to create, with the way that you want to put your gifts out into the world. It's an opportunity for you to align yourself with the clients and the partners and the collaborations that you really do see for yourself, that you know would be a really good fit for you. It might feel like you're burning out. It might feel like, okay, there's something that has to change. And that's because there is something that has to change. Again, you have a personal choice, okay, to create your life the way you want to and align yourself with the things that you want. So this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to get still, for you to get honest with yourself about how you view yourself, how you view your talents, how you view the work that you do. Lean into that opportunity because you're going to be better for it on the other side. All right. So that is our carpool for today, and that is your message for today. Thanks so much for listening, and I'm going to see y'all next time. Okay, so just a reminder, remember that you are worthy of all of the things. Okay, remember that overgiving and undervaluing yourself does not help anybody, and the only person that suffers is you. And you don't deserve to suffer. You've suffered enough, you've done it enough. Okay, you get to decide. So align yourself with the things that feel good for you. Align yourself with the value that you know you bring to the table. All right. So I will see y'all next time. And thanks for listening. Bye.